All right, and we're back. So we've been streaming 10.5 hours. This is going to be the last league of the day. So without further ado, let us spin the wheel and see what the final deck of the day is going to be. And I hope it's going to be a fast one, because I actually do want to leave for F&M later. Spin, spin, spin. Hollow Vine. So this is Hollow Vine, and to explain the deck, so Hollow 1 is a card that is a 5 mana, colorless 4/4, and it costs 2 less for each card that you've cycled or discarded this turn. And Vengevine is a 4 mana creature that, when it's in your graveyard, if you cast 2 creatures, or rather, when you cast a creature, if it's the second creature you've cast that turn, it comes back for free. So the idea is to discard and cast creatures really fast out of hand and graveyard with discard effects and whatnot. So primary engine here is Burning Inquiry, which causes each player to draw and discard 3 at random, meaning any Vengevines you discard are now free things in your graveyard to get back, and it means that any hollow ones remaining in your hand after you Burning Inquiry are now 0 mana to cast. You also have Goblin Lore, which does kind of the same thing. It's draw 4, ditch 3 at random, but only for you and not the opponent as well. There is also Dragon's Rage Channeler, which can surveil, of course, Vengevines into the graveyard. We have Dothy Voidwalker, Orcish Bowmasters, Underworld Breach, Surgical, Unearth. The reason Surgical is because you're causing your opponent to discard on turn 1 with Burning Inquiry. You can then Surgical their stuff. Baubles to trigger Darcy. Underworld Breach can then do its whole thing of getting back Baubles multiple times, or you can grab Burning Inquiries multiple times if you want. Infernal Plunge in the deck, not sure why that's here. 2-Season Pyromancers and Ox of Agonis, which you can also cast from or you can escape it from your graveyard, rather. So if you discard it, it's also sort of free. This deck used to run Bloodghasts, but I think the value on them has just diminished a lot, especially since Bloodghasts are 2/1s and therefore get killed by the Bowmaster meta. Lands are all Rakdos lands. Sideboard, another Surgical, Torok, Cast into the Fire to kill the ring, or just are the artifacts in general, or small creatures. 2 Blood Moon, 2 Magus of the Moon, Terminate, Tormod's Crypt, EE, Chalice of the Void. So let's jump into a league with Hollow Vine. Game 1, or round 1 on the draw with Hollow Vine. We have land, DRC, Surgical, but we don't actually have a way to do anything other than if the DRC is in here, we can Surgical nothing, and then, yeah, okay, this is not good. Mulligan. All right, triple DRC with Goblin Lore, so let's just put a land back, I guess. Land, put this back. Opponent. They fetch a Stomping Ground. All right, let's go Black Cleave DRC and pass the turn. Opponent fetches, gets a mountain. They unfortunately have Renin 6, which means Darcy immediately dies. All right, well, I could either play 2 more Darcys or I can just play Goblin Lore right now. I guess I'm playing Goblin Lore right now. Let's get Blood Crypt in case I discard this. All right, Goblin Lore. What do we discard? Nothing too great. And this Ox is in our hand. All right, so pass the turn. So this turn I can go... So my next turn I can go Pyro, discard the Ox. How many cards are in my graveyard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it'll be 2 more Explore. So our opponent... Oh, okay, our opponent's on Scapeshift. All right, Black Cleave Cliffs. And then... I guess Darcy's Delirious now, right? Land, Sorcery, Artifact, this one. So if I go Darcy plus Goblin Lore, is that better than just playing Pyromancer? Probably. All right, Darcy, cast Goblin Lore, trigger this. What's on top? Opponent fetches in response. Why not let me finish surveilling first? All right, Darcy dies. Put that into the graveyard. Then resolve Goblin Lore. Bamf. Still haven't hit Vengevine, but I can cast this for free. All right, pass the turn. So they explore again. Well, we're going to die to Scapeshift before we kill them, so... What am I doing on my turn? Escaping Ox. Opponent plays Wish. So they wished for Valakut and put Valakut into play. All right. Ooh, Burning Inquiry. Burning Inquiry. So if they have Scapeshift in their hand, we can cause them to discard it potentially. All right. Cast Burning Inquiry. What do we discard? All right, so this is free, but I don't want to cast that yet. Actually, I guess I do want to cast it. Yeah, because I'm going to escape Ox. So cast this for free. Play this tapped, and then let's escape the Ox, and then creature, let's see, land, another creature, another sorcery, another creature, one of the artifacts, 1 remaining. That's an instant. I guess we're already down 3 DRCs anyway. And I'm about to discard a land, so I can do the other land. All right, done. Ox, trigger. Well, there's Underworld Breach. Let's go bobble the opponent. What'd they discard anyway? They discarded Wish, Renin 6, Bolt. They're drawing Dwarven Mine. All right, combat, attack Renin 6. So kill Renin 6 off. Then we draw Bowmasters off our bobble. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Dwarven Mine, trigger Valakut. all of our creatures except Ox, so Ox will die. All right. Oh man, another land, and it's a fetch land. They're just shooting us. Well, if they have Scapeshift, they just win the game, right? 2 more land triggers. Forest trigger, go to 11, and search for tomorrow. All right, so they don't have well, they're empty-handed at the very least, but it does mean that we're de facto at 5. All right, so what if I breach right now? I can cast Burning Inquiry 2 or maybe 3 times. So if I attack both here, they chump Sakura Tribe on 1, potentially here as well. So I need to find a way to get rid of this Dryad. So what is in my graveyard? So none of these... Okay, so I can play Bowmasters and then what? And Burning Inquiry a whole bunch. I only have so much graveyard fodder, though. So I have 10 cards in my graveyard, which means I go Breach. Then I have to Infernal Plunge, so I have enough mana to do it. So I have to Infernal Plunge one of these hollow ones. That leaves me with 7 cards remaining in the graveyard. Then I go cast Bowmasters, and then I can Burning over and over and over and over and kill them. All right, so Breach. How many times do I get to do this? Because I do have to plunge to keep going. So Breach, cast Infernal Plunge, paying a red, sacking hollow one. Exile, anything else doesn't matter. The only things I need to keep are Burning Inquiry and Plunge. So sack that, get 3 red, and then go Bowmasters, black this one. I don't think I can kill them, though. I can do this. How many times can I do that? So target them. He can also bolt in response with Sakura Tribe Elder, so it is a bit awkward. So let's go cast Burning Inquiry, and then exile, bauble, land, lore. All right, they didn't respond to that, so target them, target them, target them. Then I need to plunge again. So plunge, sacking the token. I guess sacking the hollow one at this point because this is bigger. Now, if I try to beat their face in, then I don't care about this being that big. So sack the token, exile, hollow, one of the 2 pyromancers, blood crypt. I guess if I sack hollow one, it gives me extra graveyard fodder. It's just that if I find Vengevines, I get to attack with this one, or else I can't attack with this Orc army. I have, what, 8 cards in my graveyard. If I keep going, I'm going to have to sack the hollow one anyway. So, yeah, sack this. Exile Pyro, hollow one. And I don't need both Oxes, I guess. The Pyromancer's not going to be relevant in this game, so let's just sack that. Or exile that, rather. Get more red. Then cast Burning Inquiry. This one, this one, this one. All right, they're finally doing it. I don't know why they waited so long on that. What are they discarding? A bunch of stuff. All right, Inquiry Resolve. So I can Inquiry again, but I can just Inquiry here as well from my hand anyway. I guess I have better stuff to do here. All right, so Inquiry, this one, I guess no. Let's do Breach, this one, and let's leave the Bowmasters in the graveyard. Okay. Inquiry again. Man, we still haven't hit Vengevine. Jesus. All right, so I probably want to hold on for next turn because I have a Breach anyway. So, at this point, I don't want to cast Inquiry anymore. Have I played a land this turn? Okay, so I can fetch. Oh, I'm out of swamps. I'm out of fetchables completely. Wow, all right. I guess I just failed to find. All right, I suppose I just pass then and keep this Breach for next turn. Yeah, I put the Vengevines in. We just haven't hit one yet. Okay, I'm not attacking them because we're more liable to die from their Valakuts than we are to... I guess, should I attack? So the only way we die is if they have a fetch land, right? They go fetch. Maybe I should just attack them. Yeah, let's attack them. Fetch land kills us regardless of whether we hold back or not. So pass, then this dies. I should have sacked Hollow One, though, because then I would have been able to keep Ox in my graveyard. So they drew exactly the second Valakut. Okay. Sideboarding. What do I want? Blood Moon stops their plan. What else? They're playing the Ring, so I guess Cast into the Fire. I also want Terminate for Titan and the Elf. I want Surgicals, but not all of them. Tormod's Crypt doesn't matter. Pyromancer seems too slow here. Dothies are still good. What do I cut for all this? Probably Bauble. Well, let's see. I'm on the draw versus a Ren and 6 deck. Maybe Darcy's are bad. All right, let's do this. I guess, okay, so what happens if they resolve the Ring? Then we're just dead? But, like, am I going to play this just to kill the Ring and nothing else? And they already draw a card off of it? Yeah, all right. Run this back. All right, on the play. All right, I'm on the play, not the draw. It still doesn't matter. Darcy against the other guy's bad. Well, we found our Vengevines, but we can't actually do anything with them this time, so mulligan. Land, Hollow One, Burning Inquiry. All right, this is fine, and let's put back... I guess we're just going to turn one Burning, so Terminate, question mark? All right, Terminate. All right, Black Cleave, Burning Inquiry. Try not to discard Hollow One. We discarded Hollow One, and we didn't discard Vengevine. All right, well... Pass. I guess we at least have Blood Moon, right? And we discarded our Goblin Lore, too. At least we have Blood Moon. Well, there's Hollow One. So, land, Am I just cycling this? My hand's really not doing anything else. I probably just cycle this. Second Valakut. All right, cycle this. There's Bowmasters. All right, Swamp Blood Moon. Pass to the opponent. All right, they have no green mana. Let's play this, and then let's just pass with Bowmasters. Another not a source that they can use. All right, Bowmasters. Target you. They bolt it, sure. Can you believe this is the first Bowmasters deck we're playing? In all of these leagues, this is the first one. All right, attack with the Orc Army. I guess I'm just, not playing these lands anymore in case I draw Burning Inquiry or something. All right, there's Dothy, so swing here. Have I had Bowmasters before? I don't remember that. Dothy, pass to the opponent. Another mountain. All right, it looks like we're just winning this game off Blood Moon. Swing, swing. Back to us. Combat. Swing, swing. They go to 9. Let's play Magus of the Moon. Pass the turn. What great magic, right, guys? My opponent just can't do anything. Amazing magic. Literally has 6 lands, is playing a deck that's half red, can't do anything. All right, we win. Probably just run this back the same way. I guess what? Bauble is actually way, way worse when you don't have Darcy. All it is a cycle. But Darcy is bad. I guess I can always have Delirium before I play Darcy. Sometimes, maybe. I don't know. It is awkward. All right, submit this. What the heck is Destructive Flow? We only have 1 land. Yeah, mulligan this. All right, land, Breach, Infernal Plunge. This hand's not very good, but we do have Burning Inquiry. All right, let's keep this and put back... What do I not want? I can't put back the lands. I'm definitely not putting back Breach. I want Surgical in case I Inquiry into a thing and then have Surgical to just take it. So it's either Darcy or Plunge, but Plunge is good with Breach. But Darcy is good with Breach. All right, let's put back Plunge, I guess. All right, opponent plays a fetch land. So I'm not just going to run out Darcy into a board and then have it get killed. So let's just play Blood Crypt and play Burning Inquiry. Inquiry. We discarded Surgical Unearth. Our opponent discarded Wish, Tribuilder, Dwarven Mine. All right, pass the turn. Opponent fetches. What's in our graveyard right now? Land, Sorcery, Instant. There's Tribuilder. So we're 1 type away for DRC. Well, they didn't play Renin 6 on turn 2. So I'm going to go ahead and just play DRC now, I guess. Play this tapped, and go ahead. Valakut, Explore, Land, Bolt. Tribuilder attacks for 1. We're at 17. Goblin Lore. Well, I'm not doing anything else, so this is rough. All right, I guess I'm not breaching anything, so yeah, Goblin Lore, see what happens. We kept Breach, and we kept Ox, and we kept Vengevine. So we discarded Surgical, Terminate, and another Darcy. All right, land, and then I'll just pass. And then I'll just play Magus of the Moon next turn. All right, opponent fetches a Forest. If they just have Titan here, we're super dead. Looks like it. There's Titan. More Valakuts. All right, so option 1, play Magus of the Moon past the turn. Option 2, Burning Inquiry, or what? Breach, Inquiry, and then who the hell knows? I can take a hit from a Titan, so I think I just play Magus. Swamp, Magus. Pass the turn. They swing. We're not blocking. They just grab 2 fetch lands. No blocks. We go to 10, and then back to them. They play the Ring. Draw with the Ring. Play Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Okay. Bowmasters is really good with the Ring, but it's bad with just Titan in play. All right. So gambling time. We go Breach, Burning Inquiry, and then I just can't do anything necessarily. Because the alternative is just go like Bowmasters, ping off your token, and then they still keep beating us in with Primeval Titan. All right. Breach, Burning Inquiry. Exile, what does it matter? Exile, DRC, Terminate, no, not Terminate. 1 of the Surgicals, I don't need 2 of them. And, actually, let me think about this. I don't have to cast Burning Inquiry. I can Unearth DRC, that does nothing. I don't have the mana for Terminate. I can't play lands from my graveyard. I can Surgical Bolt out of their deck. That doesn't matter too much. It's target card in a graveyard, right? Target card in a graveyard other than a basic land. Yeah. It's just gotta be Burning Inquiry, right? Yeah. Burning Inquiry. Exile land, 1 of the DRC, or 1 of the Surgicals, and 1 of the DRCs. Done. Inquiry. We discarded Hollow One, drew another Vengevine, didn't discard the Vengevine. Oh, man. All right. Pass the turn. Breach dies. We literally can't do Jack. Opponent gets to untap with a Ring, Titan, Dryad in play. We can't even block Dryad or we lose, so we're going to go to 2. Why not just attack with the Dryad? I'm not going to block it. All right. No blocks. Green, red, explore. Ring draw. Explore again. Opponent cycles Sheltered Thicket. All right, they found the bolt for the Magus. So I could have Surgicaled their... Yeah, so we're dead now. I could have Surgicaled Bolt, which would have put me at 2. And then but if I did that, then I would have had to just chump Dryad anyway. What's our next draw? Yeah, nothing. All right, on to round 2. Well, this is what happens when you play randomly discarding stuff deck. All right, round 2 on the draw with Hollowvine. All right, looks solid. Turn 1, Darcy, Bobble Trigger. Opponent plays Tarn, fetches, Steam Vents, plays Ragavan. All right, so our Darcy's gonna die. 100% it's dying. Another Bobble. All right, well, Black Cleave, Darcy, Bobble. Definitely surveilling a second Bobble into the graveyard. And then what are they drawing? Consider. All right, pass the turn. Then end step, they bobble us. All right, then a whole bunch of bobbles go off. We draw Burning Inquiry, Scalding Tarn. There goes Darcy getting bolted. Then Ragavan hits us. And they exile Hollow One, which would have been a great draw next turn. All right, well, let's try to play Goblin Lore. So fetch, Crypt, Shock, cast Goblin Lore. Well, we put Vengevine in the graveyard at least. We can't do anything else, but we finally got a Vengevine into the graveyard. Opponent goes, let's see. So we've got Ox in the graveyard, Vengevine in the graveyard. End of turn, they're casting Consider. What's my next move next turn? It's probably just play Pyromancer so I have multiple blockers for Ragavan. All right, we go to 13. Ragavan exiles Hollow One again. Now they're just going to play Murktide for a 5/5 Murktide, I guess. Yeah, 5/5 Murktide. So what can I do? I drew Plunge. So I can go Channeler, Plunge, Breach. I'm definitely playing this land no matter what. That assumes they don't have Counterspell with the double treasures up. But if they have that, we're just losing the game. So let's play under the assumption that they don't have it. This is 7 damage. I can also just go Dragon's Rage Channeler, get Vengevine back. Next turn, Inquiry with the Dothy. Alternative is Channeler, Plunge. I have 4 mana. Then I go Breach. I have 2 mana. I don't have any creatures in play after that. So then nothing else really happens. Okay. I just play Bobble a whole bunch to draw cards. Let's just go DRC Dothy to get Vengevine back. Play Darcy. Vengevine trigger. Get Vengevine back. And then let's just pass. And then if they attack with Murktide, I probably just block it to not take so much damage. Play their own Darcy, which is not Delirious. They Unholy Heat Vengevine. Why would you pick Vengevine? The Vengevine is the one creature that comes back. All right. Am I blocking this? I can sack Dothy to just kill it. I don't think I do. No blocks. Ooh, another Inquiry. All right, so Breach, Plunge. That gets me more mana. And then I can Plunge a bunch, but I have to play more creatures in order to do that. It's got to be a Breach turn, right? That has to be what the correct move. I've exiled Spell Pierce and Unholy Heat, and I can use either one for Dothy. So let's go. And then what am I plunging? I guess the Vengevine, because I'm going to cast creatures to get it back anyway. So this is our graveyard. This is their exile with the void counters. All right, Breach, Surveil trigger, cast Counterspell. I will let their Surveil resolve first. All right, they put Bobble. So then I sack Dothy, and I choose Spell Pierce. And then I cast Spell Pierce on their Counterspell. Oh, hell yeah. Vengevine into the graveyard. Spell Pierce resolves, counters their Counterspell. Then our Surveil for the Breach resolves. Bowmasters I will put in the graveyard. Then Breach resolves. Then we plunge the Vengevine. Trigger the Darcy again. Unearth. I can't even cast anyway, so bin that. Then resolve Plunge. Then cast this Darcy. And then what else am I casting? Just Bobble to keep going. So cast this Darcy. Exiling Lore, Land, Unearth. Darcy comes back. Let's cast Bobble. Exiling the other Bobble. And Dothy Voidwalker because I'm not playing that. And I guess Bowmasters because I'm not going to have black mana. Done. And then both the Surveil triggers go off. We bin this. Bin a Swamp. And resolve the Bobble. Then crack Bobble. They're drawing an island. All right, we still have 2 mana left. So I can play Ox or I can just Inquiry from my hand. Right? So Inquiry from hand. Trigger, grave this. Grave the other Plunge. Then Inquiry resolves. Discard a bunch of stuff. There's this in hand. Okay, so now I need to plunge in order to get more mana, right? So then plunge this Darcy. Exiling Lore, Land. Bin Pyromancer. Plunge resolve, get 3 mana. Then I can go Darcy. So second Darcy, Ox. Or I can just cast Ox. I want to get this Vengevine into my graveyard. So I can go Inquiry, hopefully bin this, and then cast Ox and then get 3 Vengevines back. So Inquiry, get rid of a land, get rid of one of the other Inquiries because I don't need 2, and Pyromancer. Surveil trigger, put Unearth in the graveyard, resolve Inquiry. We still didn't discard Vengevine, Jesus. All right, so So if I just unearth the Ox now, I get 2 Vengevines back, and I can attack them for not enough. Just not enough. So if I plunge my DRC, I can Inquiry again, and potentially get this Vengevine in the graveyard. But then I don't have a flyer, but then I can always just play DRC. Okay, so let's go Plunge Channeler, exiling 1 Inquiry, Breach in the graveyard's irrelevant, and 1 of these Pyromancers. Then cast Inquiry, getting rid of 1 of the plunges, 1 of the Oxes, and a land. Inquiry. We still didn't discard Genvine. Jesus. All right, let's try to do it again. Well, okay, if I do it again, then I can't Darcy block their Murktide. So I probably should just go, I don't need to cast the Ox, right? I just need to go Inquiry, and then I can play DRC, and hopefully this is in the graveyard by then. So if I Inquiry again, I get rid of this, this, and this, and then I play Darcy, and there's more stuff in the graveyard. Okay, so cast Inquiry, get rid of land, Hollow One, and Unearth. Inquiry again. We still didn't discard Vengevine. Holy crap. How have we not discarded Vengevine? What have I exiled from me? 1 Blood Crypt, 2 Blood Crypts. So the Blood Crypts are gone. 1 Swamp. So I have no more red sources to fetch. We're just like gonna die to these DRCs, right? Or to the flyers. Okay, so let's just go. We milled over another Vengevine, so let's just go DRC, exiling, Dothy, land, and then we have what? Artifact, creature, instant sorcery. Get rid of plunge, I guess, because it's not relevant after all that. No, I need to keep it around for the types, right? I'm gonna have creature, artifact. I get rid of surgical, so finish that. Then it escapes all of these, so get all the Vengevines back. Then DRC returns to the battlefield, and then I just cast the... Oh, I don't have Delirium anymore? I thought I counted the Delirium correctly. Isn't this sorcery, instant? Oh, this is a sorcery. I thought this was an instant. All right, yeah, I guess we just Inquiry again then. Inquiry, exiling, Bauble, DRC, plunge. And we have a land to sack to get Delirium. So no matter what, I should play Inquiry then. Land. If I fetch and they have an answer for Darcy, then the Murktide kills me. But if I don't fetch, I don't have Delirium. All right, fetch. I have 1 more land to get. And then I can do what? I can go Inquiry, get rid of this. I guess I should just cast... If I cast anything, I'm in danger of not having Delirium anymore. All right, let's just attack with the Vengevines, right? No, with 2 of the Vengevines. And then I go block here. Just 1 of the Vengevines, I guess, is the only attacker. If I attack with all 3 Vengevines, I don't actually have to block any of them. So if I don't attack, I think I should spin the wheel. Burning Inquiry, get rid of 1 Darcy, plunge, and I guess the Ox, leaving land, Bauble in the graveyard. But if I do that, then I don't have Delirium and I can't block. Oh god, it's so hard. If I just do nothing, let's say I make no attacks, right? Then I go chump Murktide, and then try to and then I'm in the same position next turn though. Or I just go swing with 2 Vengevines, and then I go block here, and hope that's good enough. All right, swing. We're dead to removal no matter what, so we may as well just swing here. They really don't have any incentive to block this. I guess I'm gonna have guaranteed enchantment in the bin on the end anyway. So Inquiry would have, all right, we get a Bauble draw. So Inquiry would have, I would have left 2 types in my graveyard, plus Inquiry, plus the Breach comes out. So I could have cast Inquiry again anyway, and then had guaranteed Delirium. They play a Bauble. If they had removal, they would have just done it immediately, right? So they don't. Consider, well, they had Unholy Heat on top of their deck. All right, sideboarding. What do I want? Terminate EE, I guess. On 1 kills Darcy and Ragavan. Also, let's see, Surgical is really not very good. I can crypt their graveyard, but it doesn't matter. They just fill the graveyard back up again. This affects me as well, so I don't want Chalice. If I put in EE for 1, then what am I cutting? I don't want to cut any of these cards. Plunge is pretty bad when your opponent has counter spells, including cheap ones like Spell Pierce. All right, let's try that. I can't believe we Burning Inquiry like 3 times and still didn't discard the Vengevine. All right, game 2 on the play. Hollow One, ooh, okay, keep. Hollow One, Burning Inquiry on turn 1. Spin the wheel, let's see what happens. Blood Crypt, Shock, Burning Inquiry. What do you got for us, Inquiry? We discarded 1 of the Hollow Ones. All right, cast Hollow One. We also discarded our other lands, so this is going to get dicey really fast. Our opponent discarded land counterspell, so they may not be in a great position either. Steam Vents, plays Darcy. Cat evokes Fury to kill our Hollow One. Exiling Heat. All right, well, there's Swamp, so I guess let's just run out Bowmasters and kill this right now. Kill this, pass it back. Plays another land. All right, so their lands are fine. Plays, do they just have Murktide, and they're going to exile 1 spell? Yep, 4/4 Murktide. All right. Then let's run out Dothy, pass it back. And then next turn, I'm going to go Inquiry to see what I get off of the Dothy. All right. They just have removal for it. Now I imagine they just race us with Murktide, right? Yeah. So 4, we go to 13. All right. That's not going to help. So let's just cast Lore. I guess I could have burned it. No, I should have burning so this would trigger, right? They have Force Negation anyway. They are exiling Consider from their hand. All right. Attack with these. Swing. They're at 14, and we're getting beaten down by 4/4 flyer. Yeah, so swing, we go to 9. All right, there's a land, so let's go Inquiry. Should I play the land first for Spell Pierce? I guess I should, right? And that puts us into Murk Bolt range. Yeah, all right. Shock, Burning Inquiry. Bam! What did we discard? Not Vengevine. Discarded everything else, though. This one, this one, this one. Yield to all these. Our opponent discarded Counterspell Bolt Consider, so they didn't counter us? Huh. All right, cast Goblin Lore. All right, we discarded Vengevine, but we can't do anything. So swing with these. Swing, swing. So I got Breach for next turn if we don't die. Opponent plays a land. Dashes Ragavan. All right, we're going to go to 1. We're at 1. They exiled Ox, which they can't play. And we are also 1 away from killing them, right? Yeah. Ragavan bounced to hand. All right, so I go Breach, and then, or I just go Ox. No, I just go, oh, I can't escape Ox and DRC because I have a Swamp. So, what can I do? I can go Breach. I can just go Breach, Inquiry, win if they don't have a counterspell, right? It's just Breach, Burning Inquiry. Bowmasters triggers a bunch of times they die, right? Breach. All right, Burning Inquiry. Exiling this, this, and this. All right, Bowmaster triggers. Shoot ya. Bolt us. You have a bolt in your hand? Oh, no. Okay. They drew it off the Burning Inquiry. That's why. They didn't have it. They drew it off the Burning Inquiry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Which means they drew a bolt off the Burning Inquiry and didn't discard it. Well, that's what happens when you play this deck. You just lose to discarding the wrong things or your opponent drawing the wrong things, which is why there's a reason people don't play this deck anymore. On the play for round number 3. For more emotional damage, indeed. This hand's okay. I will keep it. I'm on the play, right? Yeah. All right. Cliffs, DRC. Go ahead. If this dies, I can unearth it. I also have Pyromancer to get a better hand. Opponent plays Urborg. Plays Fatal Push. Sure. All right. Let's just get that back. Should I just Surgical their Fatal Pushes? Nah, right? That can't be right. Pass the turn. I don't even know what my opponent's on, although since they're playing Urborg, I assume they're on Coffers. Bowmasters. So I can't possibly Surveil off of this, right? I guess I'm doing it anyway, so let's just do that. Pay a black. Surveil. Huh. If I keep that on top, I have to discard it to Pyromancer anyway. So, yeah, discard. All right. So that's their hand. Oh, they have Relic of Progenitus. All right, eat this, eat this, eat this one. What else is in their deck? Bunch of removal, 2 Damnations, Invoke Despair, Karn, March, Night's Whisper, Bowmasters. They only have 3 Bowmasters. Shieldred, Ring. All right. Yeah, that finishes. So they can just Damnation anyway. They can March anyway. So it's better to just Pyromancer right now. All right, land, Pyromancer. Oh, right, this thing triggers. Well, what can you do? The alternative would have been I just play Dothy Voidwalker and then they just go untap, kill it with March. And then if I do any extra draws with these, the Bowmasters annihilate me. All right, no blocks. They played Coffers, Relic. All right, I just can't possibly win, right? Anything I've been gets eaten. Yeah, all right. What deck are you playing? I'm playing Hollowvine. All right, so we have to kill Bowmasters. So cast into the fire, terminate, EE. Don't want Surgicals. Pyromancers are absolutely atrocious against Bowmasters, so those come out. DRC Pre-Delirium is also terrible against Bowmasters, so those come out. What the heck else can I play? Torok, I guess. And then what else? Blood Moon shuts down their Coffers stuff. Yeah, I guess that's what I do. Submit. On the play, we've got 2 Hollow Ones and Burning Inquiry. Let's high roll it. All right, Burning Inquiry. What do we hit? What do we discard? We discarded one of our Hollow Ones. Cast this. Cast Bauble. If they're playing Thoughtseize, I don't want them to see whatever it is that we're going to draw off this, so I'll do this in their upkeep. Bauble. They're drawing Relic of Progenitus. Again, our plan is Breach, Vengevine, whatnot, so that's horrible for us. Exile a Swamp. Bauble trigger, draw. Yeah, all right, let's play Dothy. Just start beating in with Hollow One. Swing. Fatal Push our Dothy. Another Relic. Exile our Graveyard. Exile Hollow One. Again, the land. There's Vengevine. All right, so I guess I just unearth this while I can. All right, they take another 4. They go to 12. What do you think is going to win the Pro Tour? Something that's not fun? Because that's all the decks in the format? No. I have no idea. The pithy answer is, oh, it's going to be some Ring or Bowmaster's deck, but there's decks that aren't playing either of those cards that are still good, so who the heck knows? But if I were to wager, it would be a Bowmaster deck, probably Scam. Relic, eat the graveyard. So now, oh, the Relic exiles itself, so the Dothy doesn't get it. All right, back to us. Well, let's keep swinging with these things. Orcish Bowmasters. Okay. I'm going to cast fire both of those. They're targeting us. All right, murder both of these things. That also gives us a Bowmasters. They exile our thing. All right, back to them. So now Bowmasters has a void counter on it. Is Walls a thing still? No. Do they just have a sweeper or ring? Either one, or Shieldred. I guess any of those are bad for us. March of Wretched Sorrow on Dothy. Yep. And then we exile it from the graveyard. And then back to us. So why wouldn't they have paid the last one? Because they just want to draw a card off Relic, I guess. All right, here's a Swamp. I still can't really do anything. So swing. I guess I can actually plunge my Hollow one and then play Ox, right? This is 5, and then it would enter, and I would draw 3 new cards. That's better than just keeping this, probably. Then they just exile the graveyard, killing the Vengevine off, but who cares? I get some new cards out of it. That's probably the right move. All right, so eat this, cast Ox, trigger this, put Vengevine in the yard, and get 3 more cards. Bobble, stop on upkeep. All right, so they got to pop this now, right? They've got to use their mana efficiently and get rid of Vengevine. Yeah, Bobble on upkeep. They're drawing Karn. They have 4, 5 mana. Oh, never mind. They have even more. They've got 5, 8, 9, 10, or 9. So we're just completely dead now. Coffers goes up to 6 mana. They Karn for something. Ensnaring Bridge, sure. And we can't even play EE for 3. Snaring Bridge, can't attack with this anymore. Bobble trigger. Then they just Karn for something else next turn. Ooh, Breach. We can't breach anything. Can't actually do anything. All right, play Dothy, and then just pass. And then they untap with Karn and 10 mana, so we're dead. They untap with Karn and 12 mana, 13 mana. Cityscape Leveler, and they'll shoot our Dothy, presumably. Can't they just play Ballista here and win with that? They're going to shoot our Ox. Makes absolutely no sense. Oh, okay, they have Fatal Push, sure. So their Cityscape Leveler can't attack, but they just have Karn Bridge, so we can't do anything either. Huh, okay, so I can go what? Can't activate this. If I breach, I can't breach anything. I can't escape the Ox. I can play EE and it doesn't kill anything. I can't even activate it. So I'm just playing lore and seeing what happens. All right, we discarded that. We have a land breach. What can we breach back? We can breach back Bowmasters, or we can breach back Dothy, which doesn't do anything. So we just breach Bowmasters back, shoot Karn, then what? So Karn's dead, and then we have an Ox in our graveyard that we can maybe get something with later. All right, fetch, Blood Crypt, Shock. Why are these tapped? Oh no, because I played lore, right? So I do it next turn then? Yeah. All right, so yeah, I just do it next turn because the alternative is Bobble, can't activate it. Yeah, all right. But then it doesn't kill Karn off, but it at least keeps Karn from going down again. Yeah, all right, pass. 3 cards in hand, could be any number of things. Field of Ruin. We actually don't have any swamps left, right? Did we lose our other one? Well, they're tapping for a bajillion mana. The ring. They will actually die to their own ring if they don't have Shieldred to follow it up with, right? All right. So yeah, it's breach back Bowmasters, shoot Karn, escape Bowmasters, get rid of a land, Dothy Voidwalker, Dothy Voidwalker. They're just going to let that resolve without drawing. All right. Target Karn. I guess I can escape the Bobble, but then I can't activate it anyway. Yeah, all right. So just pass. And then this breach will die. Back to them. They're just not drawing with their ring. I guess they don't have to. They can just keep plussing Karn, and eventually they'll just be able to minus it and go grab something else. Karn plus land. I actually can attack them if they have 1 card left in their hand, but there's no point in doing that. Actually, I guess I could terminate Cityscape Leveler, breach again, so I can get another Bowmasters back and target Karn, and then I'm still not killing them. But that's probably better than just terminating this and trying to attack. All right, breach, cast Bowmasters, exile this, this, and this. Have to target Karn, and then just pass the turn. At least they can't activate their ring. Plus Karn, play a land. All right, there's another land for Ox, but this is the only window I'm potentially going to have to kill Karn off. So let's just go terminate Cityscape, combat, attack Karn. All right, amazingly that went through. So play this tapped and pass. All right, Field of Ruin. We actually can't go get a land. I think we lost our other swamp at some point. So they just strip mine us. Oh, they drew a bajillion mana thing. Oh, it's another Karn off the top. Okay. Well, we're dead. They can just grab Ballista, right? And then they win. How much mana do they have? Walking Ballista. 1, 2, a whole bunch. Even if they don't kill us this turn with Ballista, they kill us next turn, so there's no reason. Let's just concede. 0-3. On to round number 4. We're playing the variance deck, and we're getting varianced. Round 4 on the play. Can we win a match with this deck? We only have 1 land, Mole. All right, that's fine. I'm probably putting back Surgical. Yeah, Surgical goes back. This is Hollowvine. All right, keep, bin, Surgical, done. Blood Crypt, play DRC, play Bauble, Surveil, put a land in the graveyard, cast the other Bauble, put Surgical in the graveyard, stop on opponent's upkeep, Bauble. Opponent has Soulscar Mage. We're playing against Prowess, Scalding Tarn, fetch, Stomping Ground. Okay, maybe not. It definitely is Prowess, but it's with green. Okay. Bauble, Bloodstained Mire on top. Oh, they have Giganta. Resolve these. Opponent also baubles us. Land, Darcy. All right, we do have Delirium now. So Darcy, land, pass. All right, Mire, Mountain, Soulscar Mage, Bolt, and this dies away. Okay. Why are they green? Fetch, Blood Crypt. Yeah, Goblin Lore. Of course, we didn't discard Vengevine, so let's go Swamp Pass. We discarded Swamp Bauble Lore. Wooded Foothills. So now we're just going to go Pyromancer, discard Vengevine. Our opponent plays Monomorphose. I actually have 0 Graveyard Synergy stuff in here right now. Reckless Impulse. They have Bolt and another Impulse on top. So it's basically a Tarka Red. We're at 12. All right, let's just this land. So let's go Pyromancer and bin Vengevine land. Hollow one is too expensive to cast, right? Yeah. All right, pass it back. So they what? Bolt Pyromancer out of the way. Reckless Impulse for more stuff. Bolt, kill our guy. Abundant Harvest gets a mountain. Casts Reckless Impulse. All right, so, and they drove Bone Crusher Giant and land. All right, so I should probably, oh, and just flashback Lava Dart. And then we take 10, go to 2. Amazing. All right, we're at 2. Opponent has nothing else, right? All right, Goblin Lore, see what happens. We discarded Hollow One. Didn't discard Ox. Burning Inquiry. All right, literally can't do anything. Concede. Opponent is on Prowess. Chalice of the Void, EE, Terminate. That's probably it. Surgical, useless. Dothy Voidwalker, not so great when our opponent is the aggro deck. And what else? Maybe one of the Unearths. All right, and we will run this back. On the play, no lands, mulligan. What is this? What is this hand? Triple Bauble. Double Hollow One, no Enabler. So I get 3 redraws, but then if I don't draw... But the alternative is to just go to 5. I guess I keep this and put back... Hell, I don't even know. The Pyromancer? All right, put that back. Bauble. Bauble me. I'm drawing Chalice of the Void, which would normally be good, but I actually don't have any lands, so fetch. Let's just get Blood Crypt tapped. And then what's our opponent drawing? They're drawing a Bauble. All right, pass the turn. Bauble triggers. Vengevine. Land. Opponent fetches. Stomping Ground. DRC. They're drawing Lava Dart. They're going to play this, so I can take that off. Another Bauble. They discard the Lava Dart. Or no, they surveil the Lava Dart. So triple Baubles. They're one type away, which is the Bauble. All right, we draw. Well, we've got nothing. Oh, all right, well, play a fetch land. Go. Bauble again. Yep. Is this deck worse than Blue Tron? No. We've just been getting unlucky. So many Bauble triggers. All right. So then we start getting beaten down by Darcy. We're at 16. All right, fetch. Get Blood Crypt. Take our turn. We drew Goblin Lore. Let's just go... So I can play Goblin Lore, but there's no guarantee of what hits the field. But if I play Pyromancer, discard Vengevine, that's so much worse. Yeah, let's just do Goblin Lore. All right, get varianced. Huzzah, we discarded 2 Vengevines. Finally, the variance works in our favor. Hollow one, trigger the vines. Bring back Vengevine. Bring back Vengevine. Resolve this guy. Play a land. Combat. Swing, swing. Oh, I should play EE on 1. EE for 1. All right. End step, opponent stomps me. They have 2 Lava Darts in their graveyard. Plays a Stomping Ground tapped. Aren't they just basically dead on board? They have to attack with this. Shattering Spree on the Hollow Ones. All right, we're still winning the race. All right, well, yeah, let's just keep swinging. And they go to 1, and then we play a land, and then I just hold up EE. So they go to combat. What's the worst thing that happens? They go like, I guess they could have multiple burn spells. If they hit us to 3, and they have Dart, Dart. If they have like 2 bolts, we lose, so I should just pop this now. All right, pop EE. So they have a Bone Crusher, which doesn't get them out of this. Or they can play something else. Also, if the Vengevines die, I have 2 creatures to follow that up with. Stomp one of them from their hand. Dart one of them. Okay. But you're still dead on board, right? Is there a reason we're prolonging this? Combat? Swing with Vengevine? Dart? Do they have triple dart? Dart? Oh, they do have triple dart. All right, well, then they lose all their lands and we just get them back. So, DRC, Pyromancer, triggers. All right, yeah. Same old. What? Dothy prevents Lava Dart from being in the graveyard, but it also doesn't block. Yeah, this is fine. Submit. We're on the draw in game 3. We have no lands again. Mulligan. We have a bad hand. Well, it's kind of bad. It's not terrible. I keep and I put back a land, right? Let's put back a fetch land. No, let's put back Blood Crypt. All right, done. So I can just go Black Cleaves, or I can just go fetch Blood Crypt. Then I can just kill this thing. All right, so Bloodstained Mire, go. Shocks in Stomping Ground. Plays Reckless Impulse, revealing Reckless Impulse plus Soulscar Mage. Plays Bobble. Attacks for 3. Very well. We go to 17 and then fetch this. Grab Blood Crypt. Back to me. Crack Bobble now. Sure. EE for 1's pretty good. It means this other Soulscar Mage is useless. It's also the least efficient thing I can do, though. So maybe I'm just supposed to let them waste a bunch of spells trying to pump this up and then terminate if it's too much damage. Or I just wait a turn and then EE for 1 below the field. And if I EE for 1 here, then if they have artifact removal, they just get rid of it. So yeah, let's just pass. So Bobble draw. So they play Reckless Impulse. They find Soulscar, DRC, Abundant Harvest. And I guess they do not have other lands. Yeah, all right. We take 2. We go to 14. They just can't play. So this is out of there. This is out of reveal then, right? So if they're not going to play anything else, then I guess the best move is to terminate this now. Yeah, let's terminate this now. Take our turn. And let's go Black Cleave. Let's put EE on 1 so we have it. And then let's cast Goblin Lore. Goblin Lore. Chat. Come on. Pass the turn. We can't escape our Oxes yet either. Opponent plays DRC. Abundant Harvest. Surveils. Alright. Foothills Crack. Bobble. They have Shattering Spree too. Alright. That gets another card in the graveyard. We still need 2 more cards in the graveyard though. Bobble. Land go. I can't do anything. Yeah. Land go. Opponent plays Swift Spear. Soul Guide Lantern, which can take both of our Oxes away. Yep. Abundant Harvest. Trigger triggers. And then we take 6 down to 8. Do they have Lava Dart yet? No, they don't. Alright, our turn. We can't do anything. Cycle Hollow One. Burning Inquiry. But the moment we discard any of this stuff, it's just getting eaten. But we have to do it. Burning Inquiry. Huh. We didn't even discard them anyway. All 3 stayed in the hand. Cast Hollow One. Pass the turn. Another DRC. Bolt on Hollow One. Puts Lava Dart in the graveyard. So now this is dead. Then darts this. Jesus Christ. And then they have 2 more darts, right? And we're just dead? Yeah, we're just dead. All right. Wow. Wow. We lured and inquiried, and both times we got Vengevines and didn't discard them. There's no point in even playing the last round, but whatever. Let's just do it. This is a deck of all time. It truly is. This is like a comedian comes to open mic night, and they start doing their set, and for 20 minutes, they're just bombing. Like, the audience is not having any of it. And then when they're about to wrap their setup, they start to finish up, and they accidentally trip over. They fall off the stage. Somehow their pants get pulled off, and then they get up to do an encore. On the play, we have 1 land in Burning Inquiry. Screw it. Keep. Fetch, shock, Blood Crypt, shock, and then Burning Inquiry. Still didn't discard Vengevine. Go. Opponent discarded Saga, Grazer's Sanctuary, so we're playing against Amulet. For some reason, they've stopped us in our draw step. All right, let's just go Dothy and then Inquiry next turn. Pass it back. Another Forest. I guess we really screwed up their hand. All right, Inquiry. I made them discard Primeval Titan. Sack Dothy. Primeval Titan. Cast Primetime. All right, we won. Game 2. Cast Into the Fire for artifacts. Surgical, so we can eat their combo. Terminate to kill their guys. Blood Moon. What's out? Pyromancer too slow. They don't actually draw extra cards, and all of their guys are big enough that Bowmasters doesn't kill anything. So cut Bowmasters. What else? This just hits Amulet, and that's it, but that's fine. Unearth is slow depending on what happens, so cut Unearth. It's also not an interactive matchup where our creatures are liable to die. And then what else? I guess Surgicals are only good if I specifically hit Titan, Dryad. All right, submit this. We're on the draw. It's round 5. We have 1 land and can't do anything, so we'll mull this. Mulligan. All right, we got Burning Inquiry, 1 land. Let's go. Keep. Put back, I don't know. Not Vengevine, not Breach, not Voidwalker. Put back Plunge. Put Plunge back. Opponent plays a Forest. Plays. Nothing. Alright, fetch. Shock. Burning Inquiry. What's gonna happen? They discarded some stuff. We discarded some stuff. Cast Hollow One. Go. Plays Mycosynth Gardens. Plays Amulet. Back to us. Land. Burning Inquiry. Still didn't discard this Vengevine. We discarded this Vengevine, though. We also didn't discard this Ox. Combat. Swing. And then we'll just pass, and then end step on their turn. Fetch. They play another Amulet. Get some triggers off Bajuka Bog, which they have, which eats our Vengevine. Vengevine stuck in hand, a tale as old as time. It's Hollow One and Grief. Fetch. Blood Crypt. Tap. Pass. Can you tell I'm done giving any Fs with this deck? I'm over it. Alright, my turn. There's another land. I guess we'll play it. Combat. Swing with Hollow One. Alright, they're at 12. They are going to do something. No, they're not. Simic Growth Chamber. Yes. These things happen. I'll yield to these. Bunch of mana. Titan. Trigger. Resolves. Simic Growth Chamber and Beseiju. Okay. These things indeed happen. Bunch of mana. Beseiju back to hand. Another Titan. This resolves. Talaria West and Urza Saga. Still not getting the haste. Yep. Mana, 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 mana. O-Stone? Okay. O-Stone. Sure. Alright, terminate one of these. Fetch. Blood Crypt. Tapped. Land. Go. We're dead. They attack with Titan. Why are they playing O-Stone? Whatever. That's the game. Game 3. Same deal. Submit. On the play. Round 5. What do we have? We have Burning Inquiry and Darcy. I will keep. Blackleaf Cliffs. Darcy. Go. I also have Magus of the Moon. I could do that. Alright, high roll in this. Burning Inquiry. Delirium. Trigger. Surveil. Yeah, bin this, because there's no guarantee we're even going to draw it. Bin it. Resolve Inquiry. Boom. Binned Hollow One. Didn't bin Vengevine. Alright, we have Delirium at least. Combat. Swing. We literally can't do anything on... So I guess I'm just going to Surgical to Surveil. Opponent plays Grazer. Puts in Mycosynth Gardens. Alright, Surgical on Summoner's Pact. Pay the life. Surveil this to the top. Resolve Surgical. Their hand is Dryad, O-Stone, 3 lands. Take all the rest of these pacts. Their deck is Dramoka for some reason, and then it's just typical Amulet Titan. Is that... Then they have 2 Valakuts. Alright, we're good. What exactly is in their hand? That's in their hand. Alright, back to me. Swamp. I can't really breach anything, so Goblin Lore. Trigger Surveil. We don't want to land. Or I guess I... Yeah, whatever. Bin that. Goblin Lore Resolve. I mean, like, come on, guys. It's just funny at this point, isn't it? Alright, attack with DRC. Opponent plays Dryad, or Simic Growth Chamber, sure. Dryad. There's a Saga. Alright, what can we do? I've got Breach. I can Breach Bauble back a whole bunch of times. I can go, like, Breach, get the other Darcy back, Breach Bauble a whole ton, and then what? I guess I can Breach Burning Inquiry, right? Yeah, alright, so let's do that. Land, fetch, grab a Blood Crypt, shock that in, cast Underworld Breach, bin the Vengevine, resolve Breach, cast... Oh, Infernal Plunge is in here. Never mind. I can actually go off, right? I have to plunge my own DRC. So, plunge, red, eat DRC, exiling land, sure. Done. So I can just cast the, whatever, but let's just go with Burning Inquiry. Get rid of one of the 2 DRCs. Hollow Ones in the graveyard are irrelevant now. And Goblin Lore. Done. Burning Inquiry. Alright, we discarded 2 of the Vengevines. We can Surgical our opponent's Titans. I also need to play 2 creatures. So, what do I have? Oh, I got rid of one of the Darcys. So, Darcy, exiling Magus, land, Blood Moon. And if I plunge this, I have to get rid of another 3 cards. So, I have to Inquiry now. Damn. So, Inquiry, getting rid of everything but Vengevine. I've played a land this turn, right? Yeah. I guess I just Surgical... I'm going to Surgical the Titan. Take 2 life. Exiling Bauble, Plunge, Inquiry. I just have to, right? Pretty much. I guess no, I can cast Inquiry first, and then that gives me the fodder to cast Surgical. So yeah, let's go. But I have to exile one of my Vengevines. That's fine. So Inquiry, this one, this one, this one. Put Goblin Lore in the graveyard. Resolve Inquiry. Still didn't discard Vengevine, but we got Hollow One. Alright, so cast Hollow One. Trigger these. Bring this back. Bring this back. Put Hollow One into play. Cast Surgical Extract. I guess I don't have to do it now, right? Combat. Swing, swing. They chump block one of them. And then we go Surgical, Eat Titan, Pay Life, Exile, Goblin Lore, Blood Crypt, Hollow One. Dothy Voidwalker on top, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. And then Resolve Surgical, Eat all your Titans. Okay. And then pass. And then Breach dies. All right, Urza Saga up to 2. And they have another Dryad, so they can play a bunch of Valakuts. Are we actually going to lose this? Valakut triggers, killing our guys off. And they can play Bounce Land, and they have another Dryad. So kill Darcy, kill Vengevine, then they can just Bounce Land, trigger these Valakuts again. Wow, we're actually going to lose. All right, combat. Attack with the Hollow One. I have 7 cards in my graveyard. So Swamp, Dothy, pass the turn. And now they just have Bounce Land plus double Valakut plus 2 Dryads in play. So that alone is just lethal on our face. Valakut trigger, Construct, get shot. Then they just bounce the land again. Yep. Oh, and they drew Amulet too. All right, that was Hollow One, guys. I'm done. I'm over it. That's a stream. Hope you had a good time. Over and out.